Good morning, everybody. It's Kathy and Manuel, and we
Hello,
are
hello,
here
hello.
here today with the REI Do Rude Lunch and Learn. And as you've seen in our post, there are some changes happening in Virginia. Manuel, you want to chime in on that, and then we'll get down to business.
So, as we've been telling you guys and all our listeners, I was speaking with Kathy and I said, look, the reason you have all these changes from state to state to state, or even cities, municipalities, however you want to do it, the barrier to entry was very low. And when you have a low barrier of entry into any industry, you're going to get more problems. Okay. Do you see big problems with franchises like McDonald's or Burger King, stuff like that? No, because the barrier to entry is very, very, very high. Okay. So there are no just general regulations other than the health department. Okay. So now Virginia has pretty much come out like I think it's the state of Illinois. There's starting to be so many municipalities, regions, and states now. I'm starting to lose count. Last time I checked, there were about 14 or 15 states where, quote unquote, assignment of contract is illegal or very limited to one or two transactions. So, if I remember correctly, Illinois is a state where you can only do one or two transactions per year without a real estate license. Um, some of y'all will never need a real estate license because you're only doing one or two per year anyway. I'm gonna leave that out there. Okay. But some of us who are out here really getting after it, we need our license. Stay ahead of the curve. Be proactive, not reactive. Okay. It's the same with marketing. You want to stay ahead of the curve or be with the curve, not behind the curve. Because if you're behind, you're late.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
here is what was posted on Bigger Pockets. Great place to get information.
Quality information.
Yes, quality.
Information in and of itself is not necessarily quality. So what the new law in Virginia is, and this comes straight from the state legalese, is that yep,
And I
here's
just
the
want to show
Virginia
people
state legislation
that they quote right here the
in
actual
legal
citation of where
in
it's
bigger
at.
pockets. Yep.
This is the same thing that is right here.
Yep.
Kathy, would you like to read that to them, please?
Yep. So it says the Department of Professional and Occupational Regulation definition of real estate broker adds to the definition of real estate broker any individual or business entity who sells or offers to sell, buys or offers to buy, negotiates or otherwise deals in real estate contracts, including assignable contracts on two or more occasions in any 12-month period for compensation or valuable consideration. The bill contains technical amendments. So we saw this the end of 2022 in Maryland, only to a whole nth degree more. It was tabled. I see that coming back again. I think now with the bridge situation in Baltimore, I think this might not come back as quickly in Maryland, but it's definitely going to be coming back. Now that it's in Virginia, for sure it's going to come. DC is already a pain in the butt, so I see them having something coming. I mean, I'm just saying that this is the kind of thing that either you want to become your own real estate realtor so that you can take care of all your own business, though people don't always like that, or you want to up your network so that you have people to work with, right? So like Minuit, when he needs a realtor in this area, who do you think he calls?
You.
Hello. And likewise, I have someone in his territory that, we're working with together to help them out. I keep saying your network is your net worth. And with these kinds of things happening, you can't have a license everywhere. I mean, I guess you could, but
It's ultimate.
that becomes cost prohibitive to a degree. So increasing that network is going to help you. And for sure, now is not now is not a time to burn bridges, friends. Now is definitely the time to extend the olive branch to people and make sure that you stay on the positive side. Wouldn't you say, Minuan?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
I see this complaint a lot that wholesalers, and this even goes with agents, but agents not near as much. Wholesalers don't want to work with each other. Um, some agents don't want to work with wholesalers, and wholesalers don't want to work with agents, vice versa. I'm telling you right now, you are limiting your reach by saying I don't want to work with somebody just because of a title that they have.
right.
That's like me saying I don't want to work with a, a, a judge because they're in the court system. That's the dumbest thing on earth. I can go to the judge and be like, hey, you got some people that need to be put on a new path in life. Have them come talk to me.
Minuin, I'm kind of glad you brought that up. Uh, you know, I, we are both slightly political, though we don't talk about it here on this platform, but we are slightly political. I grew up in a home that my parents knew a lot of the politicians. Um, and I always hoped that I would get to that level that I would know my politicians. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited because I know um, and have been friendly with two of our state delegates down in Annapolis for the time that Matt and I have lived in our home here. And that's been more than 2 decades now. And when I talk to these ladies, I actually have their ear, if that makes sense. So I have been thinking that the next time we go out for breakfast, which we do a couple times a year, I actually want to bring up this topic of the real estate laws and kind of mix it up with them. They don't always agree with me. Um, but they hear what I have to say, if that makes sense. And sometimes I think it takes just giving a different spin to things for people to think about things in a different way, right? We often, and it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, you think that the way that you do things every day is the right way to look at things. And I think sometimes somebody just mixing that bowl a little differently helps us to hop out of our box and see things a little different. Does that make sense, Binuan?
Mm-hmm. It
And
does. It really makes sense.
right. And I think real estate is one of those things that people think they understand. And what people don't understand is if you haven't done some kind of transaction in the last year, you don't know how real estate is done today, right? It's funny because at one of the brokerages I was at pre-pandemic, they were talking about someone who's buying a home today, buying or selling a home today, who hasn't done a transaction in the last 5 to 7 years is technically a new home buyer. So you have to treat them a little bit differently. Well, that goes for anybody who's doing anything, right? People who were teachers pre-COVID, have no idea what it's like in the classroom now. People who have been outside of the grocery industry, no idea what it's like now, post COVID, and the craziness of trying to get things in those stores and help in those stores, etc. So I think it's important that people have an open ear to what others are saying, not take offense, and think about the fact that we can glean information from everyone.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Just thought.
we wanted to just bring this to light.
Yep,
If you're in real estate for the long haul, it probably behooves you to get a license at some point.
probably.
Or you're gonna have a realtor on your team. Now, I'm gonna say this. If I can get a license to put more money in my pocket, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just saying. It's kind of like JVing. A lot of people come at me. I post a deal. Hey, you willing to JV? No, because I've built my own buyers list. I got my own team to help out. Now, I will say this. I have 2 or 3 go-to people in different markets that if my deal is out there for 10 days or so, and I don't have a bona fide offer or purchase, then I'll bring these other people in. Okay. And we'll work it that way. But I'm gonna go it alone by myself first. So you gotta network with other people to expand your reach. Because remember, at the end of the day, I'd rather have 100% of a grape than 50% of a watermelon.
Well, and friends, I'm going to say this, and I truly mean this. It is a small world, especially now that things are so virtual and we're networking in new ways and different ways and meeting people in these offline or online platforms. It is an extremely small world. And so I've always believed in trying not to burn bridges, take the high road and just walk away, whatever. But especially now, and real estate is, we think it's such a big world, but it's really, real estate is so tiny now because of this virtual working, right? What's old is new again is all I'm going to say. And just be wise about how you're handling things and treating others, because you have no idea how things are going to come back to you, and how do you want them to come back to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, not talking about people, not acting silly with people. It's all good, because you just never know. In fact, my last 2 opportunities that have come through my door have been from people that I met in not such a great place, but were 2 of the best people that I met out of that place. And to be honest with you, like, phenomenal opportunities happening. So you just never know. And something that Karen says to me different times is that I never let go of people. Well, that's how I keep my network so big, right? And it doesn't hurt me to say hi to people once in a while, to make a phone call just to check in and see how they're doing. That's how that network building happens. That's how you keep that network, and how you stay on how you stay on their radar, right?
Right.
So treat people right so that they'll treat you right, especially with this kind of stuff becoming more prevalent.
Exactly. And folks,
Yep.
in a nutshell, you got to expand and you got to open your mind. Okay. Side note, we got something big brewing. Not gonna say anything about it right now because I don't want to jinx us. But details when they're confirmed will be out, and let's just say there's some new kids on the block.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that. And
yeah,
it would benefit a lot of people. A
yeah.
lot of people. So I'm gonna leave that little tidbit right there. Kathy, anything else you want to say?
No, it's exciting stuff happening. It's scary on one hand because it's new, but you
It's
know,
needed.
you need that newness because when you become complacent, then you stop, right? You stop growing. So you need that little bit of tingle in your tummy to keep you moving forward and growing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, guys. Well, this was our lunch and learn today on what's happening over in Virginia. And well, if you need somebody in Virginia, we know some good people who work over in Virginia. So let us know. We can always help you with the hookup.
All right. Guys, that's it for this lunch and learn. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care.